We're the Army and proud of our name. We're the Army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along.
Hello everyone, my name is Staff Sergeant Graves. I am the local combat medic for the Tulsa South Army Recruiting Station. I'm going to be giving y'all a class today on heat injuries because summer's starting, it's starting to get hot out there, and heat injuries are no joke. Heat injuries. There are some risk factors that really increase your chances of getting a heat injury. Some of those are age. So older people and really young people, they get it a lot worse because their bodies don't control their body temperature as well. Also, your general health and fitness really affects it. People that are out of shape get heat injuries easier. Also, something as simple as fatigue. Like if you aren't getting enough sleep and you're really tired, that right there is a major cause of heat injury. Some other things that can increase your risk is if you're taking antihistamines. So if you have seasonal allergies, that can up your chances. Nicotine use, that also ups your chances of getting a heat injury. Also, how long it's been hot for. Generally, it takes about 2 weeks of constant exposure to heat to actually get your body acclimated to it. So maybe instead of just going out and working all day in the hot sun immediately, build yourself up to it. Start with working for just a couple hours one day and then the next and so forth. So you might be asking, hey, what is a heat injury? Well, there's 3 levels of heat injury. We have heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Heat cramps, sure, most people have had that. You're out in the heat a lot. Your muscles start spasming or cramping up. This is caused by your water-salt balance in your body getting off, because as you sweat, you're sweating out both water and salt. Your body needs the salt to retain water in your muscle tissues and to take advantage of it. This is a simple heat injury. You just cool off a little bit, drink some water, you'll be good. The next level is heat exhaustion. This generally takes prolonged exposure. So you're out there in the heat for hours or maybe just a few hours a day, because heat injuries actually can build up over time. If you're out there for 4 hours a day working in the hayfield and it's 110 degrees out, and then you go back home every evening, your body temperature is actually going to go up and stay up incrementally over those days. So be careful, drink lots of water. If you have someone that has heat exhaustion, make sure to cool them off and get them treatment. Heat exhaustion, some of your symptoms, some similar to heat cramps. So your muscles are going to start cramping up, but you're also going to lose dexterity in them, maybe a headache, stuff like that. The last level is heat stroke. What this is it's a failure of your brain's temperature regulation. So at that point, it is a medical emergency. That person, you need to call 911 and get them to a hospital. So heat stroke takes a lot of time in the heat. It can be all at once, or it can just be built up over days. The big way to tell the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion is with heat stroke, they will have altered mental status. You might ask them where they're at, and they tell you, hey, I'm at Disneyland. It's more of the signs and symptoms, and it's a progressive thing. So at the first sign of a heat injury, the person's muscles are going to start feeling tight and hard if you feel like their bicep. Their skin, it's generally going to be moist and kind of pale, or normal and cool. That's for your less serious heat injuries. As the heat injury starts getting worse, they become hot, their skin kind of turns red, and it's generally dry because their body has lost the ability to sweat. If you see someone like this, get them to the hospital immediately. I can't stress this enough. And it could be just someone that you meet randomly. I was on my way to take my kids to camp last year, and there was a lady riding passenger on a motorcycle, and they'd been out riding motorcycles all day, and she was laying on the side of the road right at the edge of having a heat stroke. So if you see someone that is acting kind of weird in the heat, you might start suspecting a heat injury. So headache, weakness, and fatigue, those are all signs of it. Thirst, dizziness, and confusion, especially altered mental status when they hit heat stroke. So your first action when you suspect someone has a heat injury, remove them from the hot environment. If they're cramping, stretch, massage the cramps, start trying to get them to cool down. Remove their shoes and socks because the feet are one of the big areas where we lose heat from. You can apply cold compresses to the wrists, the backs of the knees, the ankles, and the armpits, and the inguinal area. Do not put cold packs on their neck because this can cause other problems. So if their heat injury gets bad enough, use rapid active cooling. Cold compresses or cold water poured over those areas that I said. The biggest thing though is to get them out of the heat. Here's a picture of some soldiers out in the middle of the desert. They're having to hold up a tarp to get this person out of the sunshine because this person had heat injury. Emphasizing this again, heat stroke is a medical emergency that does result in death. If it's untreated, it has an 80% fatality rate. So if they have altered mental status and you think it's heat stroke, call 911. If you're not sure, call 911. If you have any more questions, feel free to come by our office or call in. Have a great day.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the army goes rolling along. And it's